The Girl on the Train, full story in detail. Part 1, Rachel Watson, the girl on the train. Rachel Watson is a 32-year-old woman living in London. Every morning, she takes the 8:04 train from Ashbury to London. The train always stops at a signal near Witney, where Rachel watches the same row of houses every day. One house, in particular, fascinates her. She sees a young couple there, often having breakfast on their terrace. Rachel starts imagining their lives, giving them fake names, Jess and Jason. To her, they seem perfect, unlike her own failed marriage. Rachel's life is a mess. She is an alcoholic, struggling after her divorce from Tom, who left her for another woman, Anna. Tom and Anna now live in Rachel's old house, just a few doors away from Jess and Jason. Rachel is heartbroken and lonely. She lost her job months ago but still pretends to go to work every day, taking the train to keep up the lie. One evening, drunk and emotional, Rachel calls Tom, but Anna answers. Anna is frustrated by Rachel's constant interference in their lives. Tom has changed his number multiple times, but Rachel keeps finding ways to contact him. Part 2, the night everything changes. One Friday evening, Rachel drinks heavily. She sees something shocking from the train. Jess, Megan Hipwell, her real name, kissing another man. Rachel is furious. How could Megan betray Jason, Scott Hipwell? She thought they were perfect. Rachel gets off the train at Witney, determined to confront Megan. But then, her memory blacks out. The next morning, Rachel wakes up in her apartment with a throbbing headache, covered in blood and bruises. She has no memory of what happened that night. Something terrible happened, she can feel it, but she doesn't know what. Then she sees the news. Megan Hipwell is missing. Rachel panics. She was in that neighborhood that night. Did she see something? Was she involved? Part 3, Megan Hipwell, the woman with secrets. Megan Hipwell is not as perfect as Rachel imagined. She is troubled, restless, and deeply unhappy in her marriage to Scott. Before marrying Scott, Megan had a tragic past. Her baby daughter died in an accident, which left her emotionally broken. She hides her pain from Scott and secretly has an affair with Dr. Kamal Abdak, her therapist. Kamal listens to her, understands her, and she feels drawn to him. On the night she disappears, Megan is supposed to tell Scott a big secret. But she never gets the chance. Part 4, Rachel's investigation. Rachel feels a connection to Megan. She wants to help find her, but the police don't trust her. She is a drunk with memory issues. Despite this, Rachel approaches Scott, pretending to be Megan's friend. She tells him about the mystery man, Kamal, making Scott suspicious. Scott starts becoming aggressive, thinking Megan was cheating on him. Meanwhile, Rachel tries to piece together her own missing memory from that night. She remembers being in the underpass near Megan's house. She remembers a man in a dark hoodie. She remembers someone screaming. She visits Dr. Kamal Abdak, pretending to be a patient, hoping he will unlock her memories. But Kamal seems innocent. He insists he had nothing to do with Megan's disappearance. Part 5, Anna's perspective, Rachel's obsession. Anna, Tom's new wife, hates Rachel. She sees her as a pathetic drunk who won't leave them alone. Rachel keeps calling, showing up at their house, and getting involved in the investigation. Anna starts to wonder if Rachel was involved in Megan's disappearance. After all, Rachel was seen stumbling around drunk near the crime scene. Anna also feels uneasy about Tom. He's been acting secretive. He used to cheat on Rachel. What if he's lying now, too? Part 6, the truth begins to unravel. Rachel starts recovering pieces of her memory from that night. She remembers falling and someone pulling her up roughly. She remembers Tom's voice, telling her to go home. She remembers blood. Then, she finds out something shocking. Megan was pregnant. But Scott is not the father. Rachel begins to suspect the worst. Megan was having an affair. Megan got pregnant by another man. That man killed her. But who was it? Part 7, the killer is revealed. Rachel has a terrifying realization. Tom is the father of Megan's baby. Tom had been having an affair with Megan, just like he once cheated on Rachel with Anna. When Megan told him about the pregnancy, he panicked. He didn't want another child. On the night Megan disappeared, she met Tom to tell him about the baby. Tom lost his temper and killed her. Rachel remembers seeing Tom that night. She remembers him dragging Megan's body. But Tom manipulated her drunken mind, making her believe she was just confused. Now, Rachel knows the truth. Part 8, the final confrontation. Rachel confronts Anna, telling her everything. At first, Anna doesn't believe it. But then, she checks Tom's phone and finds Megan's messages. Tom realizes the truth is out. He turns violent, attacking Rachel. He tries to silence her, just like he did with Megan. but Rachel fights back. In a desperate moment, she grabs a corkscrew and stabs Tom in the neck. He collapses, bleeding out. Anna, finally seeing Tom for who he really is, finishes him off, pressing the corkscrew deeper to make sure he dies. Epilogue: A new beginning. The police arrive. At first, Rachel is questioned, but Anna confirms that Tom was a liar and a murderer. Rachel is finally free from Tom's hold. As she takes the train again, she looks out the window, not for a perfect love story, but for a fresh start. The end.